my sweet friends, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to day 9 of our 13 Days of Halloween series. If you're just joining in, you can find links for the first 8 days at the top of the description. And make sure you stay tuned throughout the video for the question of the day. Creating a big, chunky, heavy, sturdy mini album with gift bags from the Dollar Tree, you're going to wind up with loads of tab top inserts, tip-ins, and full pages for those larger pictures. This would be so great to use as an October daily. You just have to add your photos and memories. So if that sounds good to you, then stick around and we'll make it together. Here I've got my Carta Hocus Pocus collection. This is from last year. It's still available through Scrapbook.com, and I think it's a really great combination of retro-inspired images, but with more of a traditional color palette. And so this was a lot of fun to work with. And for today's project, we're even going to go through quite a lot of those journal cut-aparts. So that is a good way to be frugal with your collection. Here's that bag that we're using from the Dollar Tree. They came in sets of 3, and for our project today, I'm going to wind up using 5. I will alternate the colors, but I'll just show you how I get this folded and cut to be the right size. And you see on the inside, there are handles that are held on with a craft tape. So you just want to carefully remove those handles. Then I'll bring it to my paper trimmer, and I want to cut this at 7 3/4. So now that it's cut, I'm just going to fold that right along where the bottom of the pocket would be. And then to bring these two together, I'm going to add my 2 glue combo. And for the purpose of having these pockets, I want them all to be facing outward. So the 2-page spreads will be here in the middle, and then I'll bring those together in the corner. Due to the imperfect nature of mass-produced items, you will have to embrace a small amount of imperfection on that, but I'm absolutely okay with that for the project today. Now, for my project going forward, I have prepared this same combination, but I put 5 bags together and I alternated between the black and the orange just to give me a little bit of variety. So here's that stack that I'll be adding to our finished book today. So now that we have our bag stack all assembled, I do want to add a sturdy cover, and because I kind of really like that variation of colors on the spine and the texture that joining those bags together gave me, I'm going to add only a cover to the front and back, and it's not going to wrap around. So I do start with a piece of my cardstock. It is 7 high by 7 3/4 wide and scored at 3 7/8. I did add 1 adhesive. There is 2. I'll just press that over. Now I'll bring in that bag stack. So I added the adhesive to this because, like I mentioned, there will be imperfections, and I don't want there to be any overlap if the bag doesn't cover the same amount of surface. And so I just added my adhesive to the bag itself. Then I want that nice finished edge along the outside here, so I'll just line that right up with the corner, press that down to get a good contact. I already repeated that process on the back, so you can see we've got that sturdy cover added. Now we can go through and add our collection papers. Each set of our pages is going to have a 2-page layout with a tip-in on the side, and we'll have tags that go into the pocket. So let's go ahead and work on our tip-in first. I just have a piece of cardstock cut to be 2 inches wide and scored at 1, and I'll just line those up so I can add adhesive up to the top of where the card would be. Then I'll set the corners together, clip off the excess. Now I'll wrap that onto our pattern cardstock for the page and secure it onto the back. So all of the full-size pages are going to be 6 5/8 of an inch high by 3 1/2 inch wide. Start just by adding this page with our tip in, then the page for this side as well. You have a little bit of extra room built into the borders here because of the imperfect nature of those bags. So here's going to be our 2-page layout with a tip in. Let's go ahead and fill our pocket. Each pocket will have 2 inserts that have a tabbed top. So I have cut my cardstock to be 6 3/4 by 4, and then I used my envelope punch board to punch the tab to be 2 3/4 wide, and then I took my guillotine cutter and removed the excess. So this portion of the tab will extend beyond the side of the book, and that way that'll give us some extra detail. We have some pattern paper here for this. It is 6 5/8 by 3 1/2, and I'll just adhere that, giving a nice border around the edge. If you have a collection with a sticker sheet that had the word strips, that would be perfect to add some different sentiments here or sections to your book. And as I mentioned, I have 2, one for each side of the tab so that we can alternate them throughout the book. And I also have one of the 4x6 cutter parts, and it is cut to be 3 5/8 and then the 6 inches wide. So I'll just add these to my pocket. And you see when I alternate those tabs, that leaves me a small section in the middle for my trim to be added. And then of course I will add my journal card in there as well. So that's going to give us plenty of room for all our pictures and journaling. And then you can also add some writing directly to the backs of these tags. I will repeat that same process to cover the remaining page sets throughout. Okay, so you can see we've got all of the inside pages finished with those tip-ins and then the additional inserts that went into the pocket. So I did go ahead and attach a little bit of this bold chalk ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and I just tacked that on the front so that it will stay in place where I want it. Now I'm just going to add my pattern papers here and sandwich that trim inside. I'll flip that over. You can see we're getting a bit of a wedge here, so that's awesome. Lots of layers in here. and it will be nice and thick and chunky and sturdy. So let's go ahead and put some of that pattern paper on the front as well. And I also have a layering pattern. Here's my small white doily. And I've got my focal image from the sticker sheet, and I've just added that to foam tabs to build some dimension. I'm just going to go ahead and tie this up so that it will stay in place. Did create a flower arrangement to go here on the bottom with some made by me flowers. Here's a netting, loopy twine bows, die cut foliage, and more of that pretty bold check ribbon. It's a good time for the question of the day. Candy corn, yay or nay? That's a bit of a controversial question, am I right? You either love it or you hate it, and I personally love a handful of that corn with a cup of hot coffee or tea. So let me know in the comments what your vote is. Got a couple little charms here to go on the side. Topping that with a button. Finish that off with some sequins. So that is it for day 9. Make sure you come back tomorrow and join us for day 10. If you enjoyed this tutorial, let me know in the comments and give me a big thumbs up for this video. As always, I had links in the description for the products I mentioned, as well as our socials. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join my crafty little family. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.